Hello, good evening. We've got a tremendous double bill of boxing for you tonight. The British light middleweight title is at stake, and I can promise you one of the toughest scraps of the year. Before that, live middleweight Nigel Benn and his latest comeback challenge. Well, Nigel Benn hasn't got a title, but he's still just about the biggest ticket seller in British boxing. He came up with the goods last time out against Robbie Sims in April. Now he needs another convincing win as he works up to that world title rematch with Chris Eubank. Got a dangerous opponent though. Kid Milo's also been in with Eubank. He was just about holding his own before Cut stopped him in the 8th. Milo a real threat to Benn tonight. Well, Tony Collins is probably the most experienced 21-year-old in the British fight game. Collins confident to the point of arrogance, and he's making his first British title challenge. The defending light middleweight champion has a low profile but a very famous name, Wally Swift. Wally abandoned university to follow his famous father into the professional ring, and so far that has paid off very handsomely. Okay, with me tonight I have Chris Eubank, the world champion. Chris, we're going to talk a little bit longer later on. First of all, I want a very simple prediction from you. Nigel Benn or Kid Milo?
I think Nigel, because he, in accordance to his strength, I think he'll knock out Kid Milo within, I don't know, 4 or 5 rounds. He has twice the strength of Milo. He's aggressive. Milo will not go back. He'll stand off, but he won't go back. And Nigel will keep on coming forward in accordance to his style, you know. So I think it's definitely a Nigel win tonight.
Okay, thanks, Chris. It's a brave prediction. Let's cross over now to Brentwood, where waiting to talk to us, Reg Guttridge, and Reggie with a new sparring partner tonight, the fellow who gave Chris so much trouble, Michael Watson. It's really almost a home match, this one, for Nigel Benn, based down the road in Ilford. Reggie, it's all yours.
Well, if you can hear in this absolute din here at Brentwood in Essex, pull up your ringside seat with us then for this live showing of the Benn fight and Kid Milo. And it's good to have, well, one of the most popular fighters in the country, isn't he, at the moment, Michael Watson, acting as my verbal spar mate, giving Jim Watt a night off. So now, he's got a tough reputation, Kid Milo, as the studio guest Chris Eubank will confirm. Very nice, neatly dressed as they came in their sequin dressing gowns. Got to worry about the colour coordination these days, as well as the left hooks. Referee Larry O'Connell, scheduled for 10 rounds. Well, Ben's trainer, Becca Andretti, he says, I'm trying to get plenty of control in Nigel now. I don't want this up and atom stuff too much. But of course, he's had 13 wins in 1 round, Ben, but not quite against... Oh! I was going to say not this opposition, but it looks like he can do it here again. And that really was controlled punching as well. He's got all the heart in the world, Kid Milo, in previous fights, and he's going to need it here, but he's battling back. He's looking for an escape route, but he won't find it that way, along the ropes. Great deal of maturity in Ben's fighting now. They're far more accurate than in the old days, really, for him. And they're yelling to hands up for Milo in the corner, which were in the Milo's corner, and he looks as though he might survive this. What a start, Michael.
Yes. You know, one thing you can't take away from Nigel is he's a very explosive puncher. You know, don't stand up away from Kid Milo. He's very durable.
He's still trying to fight back, Milo. What a gutsy guy. It's not like those what Nigel Benn called the Mexican road sweepers who went over in the opening round anyway.
I think Nigel don't want to get too careless. He should work behind that left hand and bide his own time. Work his openings.
That widespread stance, Ben, I'd like to see him just shorten that a bit, but maybe he'll never get rid of that habit. I think it might plant his feet down to give him more power, but he needs a bit of mobility as well. So a minute to go in this opening round, and he's He's already cut on the cheek there, not badly, Milo, but if you remember, that happened in the Chris Eubank fight at Brighton, and eventually that was how the contest was stopped, with in fact this same referee, Larry O'Connell.
And that's also the same cut. I think that's an old wound that's just been reopened.
Yeah, it's a long way from a danger spot though, Michael, so, oh, what a left hook there. He'll do well to ride the round out. Come with a reputation, I've seen Milo a few times, he's a good game fella and he'll need to be. This stick that he's taken with the countdown then for the opening round. And he's trading back with him now. Oh, what an opening punch-up this is. Michael, you're glad you're not in there at the moment.
Well, I must say, Reg, you've got to take your hat off to Kid Milo. You know, it's a lot tougher than I thought. Brilliant fight. Nigel's got to keep his composure.
I love the end of the fight there, that sort of warrior touch, wasn't it? A couple of gladiators said, how do you like that, pal? And they both acknowledged each other's gameness there.
That's a sign of respect.
Yeah, that's nice. You like that sort of thing, don't you?
That's what it's all about, being professional about your business.
So let's have a look at it in replay then, Michael. See that?
Beautiful. He worked behind his left hand and caught Kid Milo coming in, and he just perfectly timed that right hand over the top.
Well, try and get our breath back there. Trainer Arthur Urry, not dropping the H's, he's actually spelt without an H, from London. And there's that little slice cut along the cheek there, in boxing terms, or seconds terms, away from the danger area. And Vic Andretti, the source closest to the seat of power there with Ben, working the other corner. He trained in Miami for a long time with this, and then at a Hell's Farm in Leicestershire. And that's one thing that he does do well. He's a hard trainer, Nigel Benn, and looking to get, well, reputation back now after losing to Eubank and of course Michael Watson.
As you can see how badly Kid Milo wants this. He has nothing, nothing to lose, a lot to gain. Beautiful exchange there.
See, as I said at the start, Michael, now he's just taken his time a bit more, Ben. That's to be applauded, really, because he's a bit of a reckless puncher. See, Ben likes to take a man out as soon as he can, but in some respects he wouldn't mind the fight going a bit longer, because he needs the practice. Now, this is far more than a warm-up, Michael. I've seen those turn out to be a bit too hot sometimes.
I think Nigel, in regards to the opposition, Nigel should work behind his left hand, because he's making it more difficult for himself. He wants to get into a slug feast. He can create the openings with his left hand. He's got a beautiful left hand when he puts it to good use.
I just called over to the second there for Milo, and he said I can take care of that cut, okay, because it is a reopening of the one he had against Eubank, as we said in the opening round.
Nigel's got a habit of always going out and trying to knock the man out with one punch. It would make it a lot easier for himself if he just bides his own time.
There's never a dull moment when Ben's around, Michael, as you well know from the close-up point of view.
Well, look at the surroundings. They love the way Nigel fights. You can't take it away from him. He's a very explosive fighter.
They're really sparkling in there with the sequins, aren't they? Four marks to Milo, though, getting over what was a dreadful round for him, and a lot of guys would have, well, they'd have ducked out of it there at some time. And the last 10 seconds, sometimes you hear the second calling out to their fighter, last 10. And he's responded a bit there, Milo, too. I bet there's a lot of people surprised by this fellow, really. 19 fights, of which he's won 14, stopped 8 of them, and they're working on those coagulates there in the corner. Lost 4 and drawn 1. He holds the WBC International Championship. He won that at the Midlands Sporting Club, which is currently the longest running sporting club, up at Solihull, against the Australian Lou Cafaro, and he won that in the 10th round with a peach of a left hook. And there's Vic Andretti in the ring there. Cafe owner in Hackney, house owner in Miami, and still loves a fight game and a former champion. So we'll have a look at this now. You see this close-up in replay, Michael. I mean, there's no larking about, is there?
Beautiful exchange. A lot of powerful punches coming in. Kid Milo's a lot tougher than I thought. You know, a lot tougher.
Seconds up, round 3.
Well, anybody that might have written this as a walkover for Ben now have had 2 rounds to change their minds, I'm sure. He's obviously ahead. He certainly won the first round by a mile. And remember, British scoring is the half-point system and not the full point, unless he has an overwhelming opening round. Maybe Larry O'Connell gave him the full point on that one. Michael, would he, do you think?
Yes, I would. I thought Milo would have crumbled under the intense pressure that Nigel would have been giving him, but, you know, he's certainly weathered the storm and he's coming back very well.
He's got a face just like a sawn-off George Foreman. Oh, he got caught there, and the referee, it's a difficult one for the referee there, but he can count when the fella's hanging on the ropes, and it looks as though he was caught perhaps with the inside of the glove there, yes, or something.
I think it was a thumb in the arm, I'm not sure. It's very hard to tell at this angle.
It's not like Milo to do that.
It could have been a punch, Red.
Difficult one for the referee there, Michael, because he was pulling Ben off. Ben had the right to do that, but then if he's tangled up with the ropes, he can start the count.
Yes.
But in fact, there was no count. The timekeeper didn't take it up either.
I think he's recovered now. He's getting back into his stride.
Yeah, it shouldn't really show out pain unless you have to in this game. It encourages the other fella too much. What a game guy, though. He's taking some stick, Milo, but he's sticking in there, coming back.
You can see how badly he wants this fight. Nothing to lose, a lot to gain, and he wants to take this fight.
Just shows you don't have to import fighters around to test Ben when this fella's giving him a good go. It's only been the distance on winning on points twice in America, of course, Nigel Benn, Sandline Williams and Jorge Amparo. But he never really looks for points win, as we all know. See, Michael, that's something he didn't do with you, for instance, Ben. He's weaving on the ropes there, a little bit smart, isn't he?
He's biding his own time, tight defence, bobbing and weaving. At this stage, he's doing everything right.
I think he might have stolen a few moves from you, Michael.
I think so, and it's paying off.
Not have all the class in the world this fight, but it's a good, honest endeavour job, isn't it?
Well, the public's certainly getting good value for money.
Good friendly touch. He reminds me of Foreman and his antics as well, Milo. He's very well respected in the Midlands. I know the lads like him up there. Well, apart from the trumpet blowing that we could do without, and they're using the end swell there, sort of doll's house iron that is, more or less, put it in the ice bucket and then wipe away the bruises and push them down as much as they can. They're going to be pretty skilled guys, these corner men, at that sort of thing. A good cut man. In replay, Michael, talk us through that.
Yes, there you go again, Nigel biding his own time, working behind his left hand. That's a great move, and then following up with a right cross. Yes, that was a punch, a good, perfectly timed punch.
Yeah, this was the incident there, you see.
10 seconds.
He wouldn't have got any medals for standing off there, Ben. All right, a lot of people are saying not very sporting, and maybe they got some applause if he'd have stood back, but that's not his style. Round 4. and it's scheduled for 10 rounds at middleweight. Nigel Benn itching to get back in the ring with my co-commentator here, Michael Watson, and our studio guest, Chris Eubank, the world champion. But I tell you what, this honest workman here, Kid Milo, is not going to make it easy. Real name Winston Walters, by the way, and he wasn't an adopted nom de ring. He was called Kid Milo as a kid.
I think, Reg, this is the fight Nigel could have done without. You know, this man's really certainly, you know, given Nigel a very, very hard fight.
Yeah, that's why I always object to that term warm-up, when you know the strength of the warm-up, but in advance he was going to give him a rough ride. And you know, there's always these question marks about Nigel's staying power. I'm sure he would argue with that, and he has in fact been 10 rounds a couple of times, but against you and Eubank, I mean, you know, you both switched it around and he went out.
That's correct.
But I'm not sure Milo carries that sort of dig. Have you sparred with him at all, Michael?
I sparred with Kid Milo going back a year ago, and he's quite durable, but you know, he's not a very devastating puncher.
See, the referee's letting them get on with that there because they're not actually holding, they're trying to punch inside. Eventually you'll have to probably pull them apart or order break, which is even better because they don't like to physically push them if they have to, referees, unless they have to.
It's like when you're in America, you know, you leave the two fighters and let them do what they're best at, you know. So long as they don't come out with any dirty antics, you know, that's what the public wants to see. They want to see a good old bash up.
I'm glad that they managed to at least patch up the cut there under Milo's eye. They've done a good job on that. Well, he's had practice with it anyway, being cut in the same place before.
This is where the corners were their waiting goal.
It's also puffed up quite a bit now though, Michael. Well, don't like the low punches, but just give him a little bit of time out there to get the undercarriage repaired.
Not that he needs it.
Oh, he did well there. See, that's good refereeing, isn't it? Not to make a fuss of it, and he wouldn't let Ben stay down from a low blow because they do wear the obligatory body protectors.
Beautiful.
Well, he's paid for that, but he'll have to continue counting, or has he stopped the fight? It looks as though he may have done.
His eyes badly cut,
yes, as he went down there, Michael. What a pity that is.
A very game fighter.
I can't tell whether it's over yet, but he looked like he was calling somebody. Yes, it is all over. What a shame. Right at the end of that round, the punch caught him, didn't it, and started to make him bleed quite a bit there, and I didn't notice it until he actually was on the deck, because to use the common expression in boxing, he wouldn't swallow it, Milo. He must have been hit.
As I said, he certainly put up a great performance. Nigel worked behind a perfect left hand and a brilliant, beautiful chop and right hand.
Yeah, the referee was in fact calling the doctor without making it known at that point that he'd stopped it, and it wasn't quite rightly. He got it in the right order. Let's have a look at the finish, Michael. See, he's picking his punches well, and
that's what the right hand and the left hook.
The left hook was the damaging punch, wasn't it?
Beautiful combination.
See it from another angle now. He chopped him with the right hand, and then the left hook, and he grimaced there, and he knew that was the danger punch.
That was a satisfactory victory.
So there he is now. He'll be looking to get the next crack at Eubank, ahead probably of Watson, but maybe Michael Watson just got to wait that bit longer. And this is a very familiar sight out there we're getting now, isn't it? With the once Dart Destroyer, which he doesn't particularly want that image anymore, he says. Doesn't need to be known as the Intimidator. And meanwhile over there's always a sad moment for the loser, patching him up. And almost finished it on his feet, but not quite. Definitely had vision trouble as well there. So we're trying to get over there for Gary Newbond to nab Nigel Benn to get the final words.
Well, Nigel, it was an explosive fight, as it always is with you, but that was an extraordinary end where you got a low blow and then you got up and stopped it with a terrific punch.
Yeah, you know, I think I underestimated Kid Milo very much, but I mean, being honest with you, he was the toughest out of all of them lot. Watson, Eubanks, I mean, I take my hat off to Eubanks and Watson because they went out there and done the business. But
it could have been a risky fight to take if he could have punched harder.
He does punch, don't say, you know, he can punch, but you know, I was determined to go out there and prove that I can box as well as fight. I mean, he took some tremendous shots, and I take my hat off to Kid Milo.
Chris Eubank is watching the live coverage tonight. What do you think he'll make of that?
I'm not interested about what Chris Eubanks thinks. I mean, he beat me. Good luck to the man. All respect goes out to him and Michael Watson. But I know I had problems making the weight and all that, but good luck to him. I ain't going to start saying like this and that. Eubanks is a champion. I'm gunning for him, you know, with my old man. My dad, you know, he's very upset since I lost the title, and I want to dedicate the next fight to my old man because, you know, so I'm going to really work my hardest for my dad, you know, and to give him what he wants, and that's his title.
I tell you what,
here's Michael Watson.
Yeah, Michael Watson, one of the two boxers who've beaten you.
Me and Michael, you know, I got respect for Michael. I thought about what happened on the fight that night, but you know, I respect you because you went out there. Here we go. And you done a number on me, so I respect you. Oh,
look, let's bring Kid Milo in. Let's have a look at that cut. That really is a terrific cut. That's horrible. You can't see it, of course, but that's a horrible cut.
So good. That's how it goes. Good luck, mate.
Let me tell you, I'm not saying this because Michael's here or Chris Eubanks is watching. You're tougher than them. I'm telling you that now. You're tougher than them. You're not better craftsman than Michael Watson, but you are tougher than them. I'll take my hat off to you.
Can I just before we leave you, Nigel, just before we leave you, you look very sharp tonight.
Yeah.
You look as if you were much more controlled.
Yeah.
Chris Eubank is watching. Michael Watson's here.
Yeah.
What have you got to say to these two?
Last time I slagged Michael off, he whipped my butt, so me and Michael know we're going to get it on again. Enough respect to you, mate.
Chris Eubank.
Karen, hello, Julie. Oh, that's what we
He's
got.
watching you now. You've got to say something to him.
Nah, not a word, not a word. You know, I leave him to do the talking now. I want to try and change my image and try and be...
Okay. Finally, Michael, everybody's talking about that result. A lot of people thought you beat Eubank.
You won, man.
There are a lot of questions that have been unanswered, Gary. Chris Eubank's feeling very proud walking around with my title, and we're going to get it on, definitely.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, man, enough respect.
Okay, there we are then. Chris Eubank, you will have your say in just a couple of minutes' time. Congratulations on the pre-fight prediction. I must tell you, we've got still that terrific fight for the British 11-stone title coming up later on, and we'll be right back with some real quality boxing in a couple of minutes. Hello once again. Well, we've got a tremendous fighter coming up, the British 11-stone title, in just a few minutes' time. But now let's reflect with Chris Eubank. Nigel Benn stopping Kid Milo at the end of the 4th round, just as you said he would. Well done.
Yeah, it was a very a very good performance by Nigel. People say he's jaded. People say he's done his best. People say this because they don't have to fight him. I do, and in no way do I underestimate Nigel. If I fought Michael Watson 10 times, I'd beat him 10 times, and I wouldn't have a scratch on my face. He's not capable of hurting me. Now, Ben is a different proposition. Nigel is, he's a hurtful fighter, and you know, that will take a lot of psyching to get ready for that one.
He was a hurtful fighter, as you say, Chris, and you had one of the most hurtful fights I've ever seen with Nigel Benn, and in the very first round, he hurt Kid Milo, and with his reputation for finishing things quickly, did you think here it was going to be another quick night's work for Nigel Benn?
It looked like it. It looked like it to me. But then Winston is very durable, as he showed.
It's Winston Waters. Better call him Kid Milo, wouldn't we?
Kid, okay,
yeah.
And yeah, he possesses a lot of durability, but as I said, he doesn't possess half the strength of what Nigel possesses.
one point that you winced at when Michael Watson said he thought that Nigel Benn shouldn't have taken this fight. It was a tough fight for him, and you didn't agree with that.
No, I fought Kid Milo, and I know that he doesn't possess half the strength of Nigel Benn. He's not a hurtful puncher at all. He's very, very persistent. He doesn't stop, and if you're not fit, he will beat you. But there was no threat to Nigel at all as far as I was concerned.
Well, it was a big night, wasn't it, for Kid Milo, and he wasn't going to give way easily. The third round, though, Nigel really kept pouring forward, and it looks as though he got a jab in the eye, and those really hurt. I mean, everything hurts in your games, Chris, but that really hurt him, didn't it?
Yeah. Everything else you can, every other punch to any part of the body you can hide or you can sustain, but anything in the eye, and especially with Nigel Benn punching, with his punching power, you can bet, it hurt.
And here's the end, right at the end of the fourth round, with Nigel turning on the steam, really, and it was all one-sided at this point, wasn't it? And a merciful release, really, Chris.
Yeah.
It was a nasty cut he got there, wasn't it?
Yes, very nasty. Which is why I decided to step back and ask the referee to stop it when we fought. But Ben he's so explosive. On a scale of 1 to 10, his punching power is a perfect 10. And that is no doubt. I would not bet against Nigel Benn ever. If you can't take a punch, you will not stay with him. It's as simple as that. You got if you fight a 12-round fight, right, you have to get hit. And if you can't take a punch, you won't win. So that's why I would never bet against Ben.
There's obviously a lot of mutual respect now these days in the British 11-6 division with yourself and with Watson and Nigel Benn.
With Nigel, let me just say, as you heard just there, he wouldn't say anything nasty to me like he did in the first time. And this is the proper way, this is what boxing's about, It's not about being nasty and being a sore loser as Michael is. He can say what he wants. Incidentally, let me just add this point, I am not the judge. Okay, I didn't award myself the decision, they did. Okay, so Michael, keep that stuff to yourself here. Right. You may get a rematch if you stop being disobedient and
well, you've led us nicely into that fight, and we can have a look at the disobedient Michael Watson, as you called him, and he gave you a real scrap the night at Earl's Court too. I have to hold my hands up and say I thought he won the fight, and we're just going to get a few instances in this, and this is a solid one from Michael Watson, round about the third round, I think it was, Chris. But you've got such a great chin that even a solid shot like that, you don't go down from.
Go down? It was on a scale of 1 to 10 about a 4. I'll take nothing away from Michael Watson.
This is a good spell from you. Just watching the pictures down here, it's a good spell from you in the fourth, which was an excellent round from your point of view.
What do you want me to say? As far as I'm concerned, I won the first half of the fight. I stayed with him for the second half, and the judges awarded me the decision. Now, that's their prerogative, not mine.
Well, that's the fifth round, and you convincingly on top at that stage. A little smile from Michael Watson. But as you said, after the fifth, things did change around, and I've seen you quite a few times, Chris. I've never seen you wobbling around like you were round about the 10th round here.
I had to lose a lot of weight too early to the fight. I fought Michael Watson on 50%, and I still beat him. So the next time he will get convincingly beat.
Were you nervous at this stage when a decision was being announced?
Yes, of course. No doubt. It was a very close fight. Some people said, as you say, some people thought he won, some people thought it was a draw, and some people thought, I won. And, everyone is entitled to their opinions.
What's been the reaction, though, from the British public out there towards you after the fight?
Well, according to the newspapers, it's purely negative in accordance to Chris Eubank, but the people I meet, the public I meet, they all seem to say to me that they thought I won, Now, again, it doesn't really matter. The judges have their job to do, and they've done it,
But, I mean, at Earl's Court, I called you, and I stand by, you must be the most unpopular British world champion that we've ever had. And does that aspect of your career, that aspect of your craft worry you?
No, it doesn't. Let me explain why they dislike me. My exterior is very hard. I'm not compatible like Michael Watson is compatible. I think a lot of people would like to see such fighters in control of a world championship so that people can get on with them. The press, I find them contemptuous people at times. They ask me very silly...
Towards you?
Yes. I find them, they ask me silly questions, and I don't suffer fools. And they do appear that way to me at times, and so I don't give them my time, you know, and so they'd like to see someone a little more compatible like Michael Watson. This is why they give the image that I am a villain and that I am the bad guy, but this isn't true. And one day soon, hopefully, I can put this straight, you know.
Right, but you see, you don't help yourself, do you? Because, I mean, you've called the press fools, and you say you don't like their questions, you say you don't like boxing. All things that are guaranteed to get people saying they don't like you.
Well, I mean, I don't fear these people, and I'm not going to please them by going along with their mentalities. And I am a transcendentalist. I think for myself and I do my own thing. I'm a winner. I'm 28 fights, 28 wins. Michael Watson has 3 losses. Nigel Benn has 2 losses. Do you understand? I'm a winner, you know. It seems that these press people like a loser. Well, I'm not about losing, and I don't want to lose, and my whole build-up is not about losing. I stand strong, and I stand confident, and that's Chris Eubank. And whether anyone likes it or not, that's the way it's going to be. And one day, when I fight an American and hopefully unify titles, you'll see that the British public will get behind me in such a way where it's never been seen before in Britain. I am a winner, and I will stay a winner.
Do you deep down, just finally for this moment, we'll talk a bit more later on, do you deep down wish for that day when 11,000 people get on their feet in the arena and welcome you as opposed to booing you?
Do I wish for that day?
Yes.
If it comes, it comes. I have no feeling toward people accepting me. I want to do the right thing in my opinion, not in anybody else's opinion. I don't want to please anyone else but me. If I can please the public by, and pleasing myself first, if pleasing myself pleases the public, then good. Then good. But otherwise, I will not conform to their.
No,
to their,
I do get that impression you're not going to conform, Chris. No. We'll sit back and just relax for a moment. We've got some more real quality boxing come up for you, and it's an absolute thriller. I can promise you that one, for the British light middleweight title from Reading. We'll be back with that very shortly.